Jordan, and we have a very special guest for today's reality check. There's no way to introduce her, the queen of gospel music, the queen. She is a diva, a queen that has been with us for years and carries herself with so much grace, besides helping us to praise and worship and enjoy music. And then also, she's acting, she's doing jewelry. She is the one and only Yolanda Adams. Please help me welcome her to today's reality check.
Hello,
Welcome.
Crystal.
How are you today? I'm so excited, so honored to speak with you.
Oh, thank you. I'm glad to be here too.
Well, we have, first of all, where you are here because we were able to get you here because you are doing a huge gospel superfest coming up in August with a ridiculous lineup. I mean,
Oh,
yourself, oh my God, Marvin said there's so many. Landra, tell us about this amazing event and why was it so important for you to be a part of it right now?
well, first of all, you know that the pandemic did a whole bunch of stuff to
Mhm.
big, I guess, big concerts like this. So
Mhm.
this is one of the few that has happened within the last year. And I am so excited. First of all, it's happening in Atlanta. So you know how much I love y'all. And
Absolutely.
then, I mean, from Erica to Ty to Jacqueline to, oh my gosh, so many people are going to be there. You said Marvin, who has this amazing story out right now. Never would have made it story. Oh gosh, y'all got to see that. It is amazing. And just so many wonderful gospel artists who have said, you know what, we want to encourage Atlanta. We want to make sure that we are doing our best to let everybody know that they are loved, they're needed, they're wanted. God needs them where they are right now, on
Mhm.
to where they're going, you know. So those are the messages that we want to give to people. You know, just encourage them that, hey, don't fall asleep in your right now. And
Yes.
don't get mad at your right now, because your right now is teaching you how to act when you get to your destiny.
And see, she's dropping gems already. We're not even 5 minutes in. Don't get mad at your right now. And that's actually what I wanted to ask you about because I know besides, the virus that none of us understood what was going on to the economy, there's so much negative that we hear that makes people fearful and isolated. And for me, I grew up in the church, but gospel music and just coming together, even if you didn't grow up in the church, there's something about the music that inspires and uplifts. And especially right now, so many people need that. What are some of the things that you've heard? Because you've obviously been doing this. People know your voice as a staple signature sound. What have you heard over the last few years from people reaching out? Because we weren't able to actually have those live interactions for so long.
Exactly. Well, people will always need inspiration. You
Mhm.
know, I need inspiration. So I know that folks who listen to me need inspiration. You
Mhm.
know, sometimes it comes from your child, sometimes it comes from, these arbitrary places. But most of the time, oh my gosh, and of course it would do this while I'm on with you. And my phone
Oh,
is
good.
silent. So okay. And again, see, sometimes it comes from a phone that's stopping you from your interview.
There you go. There you go. There you go.
But I think one of the things that we all realize in these, last 2 years that have been really, really tough, we realize how much we need each other.
Yeah.
And we need to get away from this Superman, Superwoman kind of situation that we, and I don't mean get away from it, 100%, but get away from it when you really need it.
Right. Right.
No, because even Superman had to take his cape off.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Even our Lord and Savior rested,
Yes.
So
See, see you preaching, Chris. Because, and this is what I tell people, Jesus came to help show us how to navigate our lives with God inside us, as
hmm
opposed to
hmm
God up in the air or, somewhere else.
right.
That was his greatest, one of his greatest, to me, miracles, is
hmm
that he showed people how to navigate life when everything around you is going crazy. I mean, he had 12 disciples. Some of them were compliant, most of them were not. So he
Yeah.
shows you how to work corporately. because because you will probably have to work in a corporate situation where you have a community of folks who are employed by you or somebody else. So he showed you how to do that. He also showed you how to deal with humanity. He always had a heart for people who were downtrodden, like the woman with the issue of blood, or the man who was at the pool, or the kid who had died and the mother was like, he's dead, and Jesus like, no, he's just asleep, So if we would concentrate on the red words in the Bible, get a Bible or get an app that has the red words of Jesus, I think the world would be a whole lot better if we would do that, because and one of the things that I know that we do as gospel artists, we believe what we're telling you. We believe what we're singing to you with all of our hearts, and that makes the difference. Because you can't go on stage one night, yes, Jesus loves me. You can't say those words without it coming from you. Right. So every time we sing, every time we say something, it comes from a different kind of place. And so in this pandemic, what I found is if you are not grounded in your faith and your relationship with God, you will be so upset, so depressed, so sad about the thing. Now, trust me, I know that what's going on in the world is pretty pitiful. But again, if we stay in our now and understand we're breathing, even if all you have is peanut butter and jelly sandwiches to eat, you're eating. Because over 70% of the world is they don't know where they're going to get food. And so we take so many things for granted, and we just dismiss them because we're uncomfortable in this situation, or we don't like this situation or that situation. Hey, the whole world shut down. Everybody. Almost 14 months. Because I just believe the earth was groaning. It's like, it's enough of this hate. It's enough of this killing. It's enough of this. It's enough of that. I'm tired.
Shut it down. Shut it down. I agree. It definitely is. A lot of things that we see happening are scriptural, right? You see them. But let me ask you this. You talking about reading the words in red. I've heard that before, but I love that that reminder, because gospel artists and even teachers a lot of times get a bad rap, or even Christians get a bad rap, because people feel like religion is very exclusive, and it makes some people feel like they're not included, even to the point where sometimes people that are in those positions have a hard time with their own mistakes, because they feel like there's no room for them to be human and to make mistakes and grow and learn. What do you say? I saw recently there's a gospel artist that was saying, F gospel music. Because it seems to be that's a little extreme, but there's a feeling that religion excludes others. And there's so many conversations that make religion a weaponized religion to keep people, fighting one another. What do you say to that? I've even talked to gospel artists that don't want to be called gospel artists. They want to be called inspirational artists. What is your response to that backlash against religion?
And I get what they're saying, because, let's think about it. God has gotten a bad rap since the beginning.
God needs a new publicist.
Well, right? We are his publicist, so we need to start really acting like him. Absolutely. So people can be like, oh, okay, so I like that. And I don't really like the word religion, because if you go to it in the Greek or the Hebrew, it means back to bondage. Means back. And religion, there's this, this putting you in this place of submission. Now, I know what the word intended to be. It was, to signify that you have a relationship with God, so that you are no longer, tied so much to, earthly stuff, worldly stuff. There's religions in the world. There are probably I think now the count is up to like 10,000 specific religions of the world. And I think that we need to start dividing this thing into sections, as opposed to, because I don't like the word, because it's been used on our people to keep us
Oppressed.
from knowing who we are.
Agreed.
And keeping us from knowing our power.
So
I don't really like that word, but I am a student of the word. I am a student of all things spiritual, and I love God with all my heart. But some of his representatives have really done a job on the world, and that goes back to before Christ. So
absolutely, because it's not God, and it's not
exactly.
even, it is the people. And I think it's just a lot of misunderstanding. If you are just joining us, we are talking with the one and only Yolanda Adams, and we are talking with her because there is an upcoming gospel celebration here in Atlanta, the Super Friends Praise Fest, happening August 13th here in a big way. I mean, this is the concert of the year. I think everyone needs to be here. And it's really not about gospel music. It's about the opportunity to come out, hear things that inspire you, and get some sped into your spirit, because I think all of us need that right now. So we're delighted to have you. But then also, outside of singing, we've had the opportunity to see Miss Adams on our TV screens.
Yay! Yay!
How are you enjoying your your foray into acting? How is this because you've been doing this for a while, but you have yes, here on BET Plus that you're in, you're locked in, you are cast. So how you are part of the weekly cast. So how are you enjoying that?
I am enjoying it. I used to, I grew up in the arts period because my mom was a music major. My dad sang, all of that. So when I got to junior high and high school, I was in the drama club. And I joined, them. And of course, that crazy bunch of rascals. It was so much fun. So I did that through college. We did, productions at our opera houses and things like that. And so people didn't know about that because that was in Houston.
Right.
And the music was taking off more than the acting. And so finally, it just, I think when you're ready, everything happens.
Yeah.
It never happens when you're not ready, because I was at a place, my daughter was graduating from college, and she was going to be starting the new part of her life. And so this is the next part of my life. And so I'm really, really excited about it. We have an amazing cast.
Yes, you do.
Kingdom business is one of those things that, and I'm so glad you brought up. A lot of times people blame the church because, it's easier and safer to say the church than to call somebody's name.
Absolutely.
Because the church building didn't hurt you. The church organization didn't hurt you.
Right.
People in that organization, people inside that church hurt you. And so, be brave and say names.
Yeah, that's hard. I attended an event, Ministry Live here. I host the red carpet for them, and they did an entire conversation on church hurt. And I grew up in the church, so I totally get it, and I know the stories. I've experienced some myself, but I think that's something, like you said, we need to call names. We need to talk about it, because otherwise we just lump everything in, and it's like, okay, I was hurt by the church. You were hurt by people in the church that weren't following really the spirit at all.
Exactly.
Their flesh. So
exactly. But here's the thing: we never hear about club hurt. We never hear about strip club hurt.
Okay.
We never hear about gentlemen's club hurt. We never hear about, and I'm just using this as an example, corporate hurt.
Yeah.
Unless it's a Me Too kind of situation. Nobody ever says, and don't come after me, Toyota. Nobody ever says, yeah, I was working with Toyota and Toyota hurt me.
That's true.
You never hear that. McDonald's hurt me. You never hear that. Chick-fil-A hurt me. You never hear that. You hear in those situations, my project manager hurt me. My so-and-so hurt me. But it's, I got church hurt. And
Yeah.
everybody in the church is wrong. Everybody in the church ain't wrong.
Everybody is not. Everybody's because I'm like
everybody in gospel music is not wrong.
Right.
And everybody in gospel music doesn't go after what these people think, folks are going after.
Yeah.
Because truly, if it was about money, the last place we would be is in gospel music.
That's
outside of gospel music, I could be somewhere making $200,000 a night.
Absolutely.
I'm just saying. So if this was about money, it's like, and I can't complain at all. I have a wonderful life, but we can't keep using what's closest to us to make it seem as though everybody in that particular genre is doing something. It's like, even when the young man from from Omarian's group, B2K, right? When he was upset about the treatment that they had, he didn't say everybody in R&B.
Right, that's true.
He specifically said this person, that person, and that person did something to me. He didn't blame the genre.
Genre. That is a very good point.
We've got to give each other enough grace, and we've got to give each other a break. And if you don't want to say names, I totally get it. Because there's always wherever you find people, you're going to find trouble. You're going to find
hurt.
Yeah, you're going to find hurt. Because we're humans. We work with our emotions. When we trust people and then they let us down, that's disappointing. But don't blame the entire body of Christ or the entire genre of gospel for something that happened. And it was unfortunate. Don't let me, make it seem like, no, it didn't happen. No, what happened to those young people was absolutely unfortunate.
Horrific.
And I know the interview you were talking about, and she's one of the people that stuff has happened to, and that's unfortunate, because everybody doesn't feel that way.
Right, exactly. Now, and that's what I wanted to bring up, because I think you are one of those people that are automatically synonymous with the genre because of how long you've been doing it at this level. So hearing you say, wait a minute, all of us are not like that. Some of us are really actually living. And I never thought about the fact that, we know that words are powerful. So when you're singing these words over and over again, no matter what you're going through, that has to become a part of who you are, because we know how impactful words are. Now, speaking of words, your character on Kingdom Business,
she's a fireball.
That's a nice way to put it. Yes.
Now let me tell you something. And this is what I was talking about when I say you have to be careful, because I got a lot of I'm canceling you because you cussed. I'm like, my character cussed.
Right.
You need to learn how to separate that. You still love Denzel, and you watch Training Day.
Yes.
And that is totally out of character.
Totally. And I hate that he won the Oscar for that, but I still support it. But yes, you're right. We can distinguish.
You can distinguish that. But when I am acting, folks find it hard to distinguish that I am actually embodying the character that was on that paper. And if I don't do that character justice, then I don't have a job next season.
Right.
And so this woman, she was adamant. She DM'd me every single day to make sure that I looked at her DM. I finally opened the DM. I'm canceling you because you cussed. And I just don't believe you did that. I'm like, girl. Number one, the 3 words that I said are in the Bible. So I'm just saying.
Right.
So you mad at God?
Right.
You mad at the word?
You didn't have a problem when you read through the scripture.
Come on now.
Yeah.
Come on now. They didn't say donkey. in the
No, they
Bible.
did not.
They
No, they did not.
said straight up.
They said it. They said it. Do you have you ever felt, because we know now everybody has access, right? So there's people that can get in your DM. But I wonder, because you do, you have been a gospel artist for so long, do you ever worry about just living your life, and if someone just setting an example, because a lot of people look up to the example that you set and kind of put you on a pedestal that's not really realistic. You're still a woman, you still, enjoy, the things that other women enjoy. And I think sometimes people have the tendency to want to put gospel teachers or singers on a pedestal and forget they're still a human being. Like, she still enjoys laughing and talking with friends, and same thing as all of us do. So have you ever felt pressure not to show your human side because of what people expect from you?
I just thank God for the way I was raised, because I didn't, it doesn't feel like a job to be me.
Mm-hmm.
And that was something that my mother and father always said: no matter what, you need to be you.
Nice.
Because you cannot pretend to be this character or this caricature. And then when you fall from that, folks are like, well, I thought she was so and so and so and so. I've never, ever tried to be anybody other than myself, because I master that.
Right. Absolutely.
And I love me. And I think it's so unfair to put people in a place that you're not willing to go.
Absolutely.
So if you're not willing to be on that platform or be on that pedestal and live your life in front of people, it is unfair for you to judge those of us who are in leadership, because that's what I call it. I call it leadership because we try to guide people into their best lives. And so when you're in leadership, you have to understand the humanity of what you're trying to do. Right. And when people are like, well, you did so and so, and you did too, and I just didn't see. You saw mine because it was in the public eye. Stuff like that. And so, I am not ashamed or afraid to live my life out loud, because I've been doing it since I was like 13. You can't get to 60 years old and not have some bumps and bruises and things like that you learn from, that you can teach other people about. I try to live a life in front of my daughter and my nieces and nephews and folks like that are close to me, so that they see, oh yeah, she is who she is in the public, at the house. Anyway, do I wear a swimsuit? Yes. I have a pool in my house.
Absolutely. It looks amazing.
Do I go to the beach? Yes. And I do not have a robe on when I go to the beach. No, I have.
And I just want to keep saying, you look absolutely amazing. I heard you say 60 where? Killing it.
Yes.
Killing it.
But it's just those things. And so I think we have to teach people through our lives that what we get a chance to do is such a privilege. And if it becomes a chore, maybe you need to step back and reassess, get your peace back, and then come on back. Because here's the one thing about anything, whether it's corporate America, entrepreneurship, motherhood, mentorship, whatever it is, if you allow yourself and if you allow people around you to inundate you with all of this stuff, you do this, and you do that, you do that, it is going to break you. And sometimes people try to break you to see how far you go down. And it's like, nope. I unapologetically am Yolanda. I am not afraid to, be anywhere. I go to concerts that are not gospel concerts, because those people are my friends, and I have a long-standing relationship with them. And I just met you online, and I'm not going to be Anita Baker concert. Are you kidding? Anita Baker is one of my dearest friends. Ma'am.
Right. And I just think that idea of being too heavenly minded to be any earthly good, if you're only affiliated with people that are on the same spiritual, you're not helping anyone, you're not reaching anyone, you're not relatable to anyone else. And so I appreciate an example of someone that says, yes, these are my beliefs, but I also love people and I love what's going on. And I am a woman and I'm not afraid to, to walk in my personality. God gave all of us different personalities. We can't all mimic the same one to make certain people happy.
And go back to reading in the red. Remember, the problem that everybody had with Jesus, who was in the churchy establishment, that's the Pharisees, Sadducees, all of the folks in the temple, was because he knew how to navigate with normal, everyday people who they thought they were too good for, but they were ministering to. How you going to do that? I don't understand how you're going to minister to people and you don't like people.
Right, that's true.
So remember when they said in one of the Gospels, it said that Jesus was seen amongst publicans and these people, not Republicans, y'all, publicans, which were, they were like the, riffraff kind of sort of, because, they were doing anything. But Jesus he hung around them, and as a matter of fact, he went to dinner with them. So this whole thing, if you get criticism and stuff like that, you in good company. Jesus had it too. So
that is good. That's a very good point. Again, getting more gems and wisdom from the one and only Yolanda Adams. And I think, you've done so much. You mentioned your career, and if you're not happy doing something, you should take a minute to reset. You've done so much and accomplished so much. What is I guess maybe I would say two, because I think one would probably be difficult, two may be difficult, but what are two highlights from your career that you could actually say you felt proud? I know watching you on with the Lady of Soul Award a couple of years ago was a beautiful moment, for fans of yours. But what has been something, a couple of things for you that's made you feel fulfilled and really thankful for, the appreciation from your fans and public?
Wow. I would definitely have to say every time I've done the Super Bowl 3 times. And every time I've done it, I always go back to my father, because my father was a coach, and he that was my Superman. And I always wish that he was still living so that he could see that now, because we believe in, that we have this cloud of witnesses and these beautiful angels who have gone on. I believe they still see it, but I can't, because I can't see them.
Right.
I just wish that, my mother and father could be, could have experienced those things with me. That's definitely one. And I guess it would have to be the first time that I did The Tonight Show.
Okay. Because
that was a turning point for me. I had just stopped teaching school, and Branford Marcellus, he and his wife were traveling from New Orleans to LA because he was the music director for The Tonight Show. Right. And he said they listened to Through the Storm from the time they left all the way to, and that's when we had cassettes and stuff like that in cars. And so when he got to LA, he told Jay Leno, he's like, we've got to get this girl on. I don't care what happens. We got to get it. This one is mine. This one is mine. And so that was a huge turning point for me because I was so excited. My mom was so excited. Jay Leno talked to my mom. It was so cool. I'm like, oh my gosh. It's like, that's when you really feel like, I made it. I made it. Jay Leno was talking to my mom. So I
love that. I love being able to share it. Probably made it even bigger because it's like, that's an amazing call. But the fact that you could share that with your mom and she got a chance to experience that is beautiful. And it really kind of was a turning point for you outside of just that made you like a commercial artist, right? As opposed to just a urban gospel artist. It took you to the next level, and it's opened up so many doors, since then. you are acting, you're obvious. I mean, Super Bowl, there doesn't get much bigger than that, but you are now making jewelry.
Yes.
Another proof that she's a regular woman. She enjoys jewelry. What inspired you to start your jewelry line?
Well, people always, there are certain things that folks always ask me about. They always ask me about my shoes.
Mm-hmm.
They always ask me about what I'm wearing, and they always ask me about my jewelry.
Nice.
And I said, now I am able to get really nice pieces of, and I don't wear big jewelry, but I like statement pieces and things that make you feel good and feel feminine as a woman. I said, you know what? And I have the best team in the world. Let me just say that. I have the best team in the world. I was talking to my attorney. I'm like, I would really like, because the handbags were doing really, really well. And I'm like, you know what I want to do? I want to dive into jewelry. I said, I love jewelry. I love gemstones. And, gemstones set in the right, whether it's gold, silver, or platinum, they And the reason I love gemstones, because I'm one of those earthly hippie Virgos, gemstones are so connected to the earth. And I try to be really connected to the earth and what's going on around me so that I can, properly talk to people and minister to folks. And I said, there's just something about a turquoise stone. There's something about garnet. There's something about aquamarine. There's something about all of those stones that I really like. I said, and I love pearls. Those are just, not just because I'm an AKA, but but I
nice cover,
pearls.
by the way. Nice, beautiful cover with you and your sorors.
Oh,
very,
thank you so
beautiful.
much. Thank you. And that was definitely one of those times where it was mind blowing. But that's for a whole nother day. We'll have to talk again because that was so epic. Oh my gosh. And so he said, well, let's find some people. We found this beautiful company that saw what I wanted to do. And I told them, hey, listen, I have a fan base that I want to make sure that whenever they want a special piece, they don't have to break the bank because they have children, they have lives, they have companies, and you just don't want to pay $1,000 for something that you can pay $100 for.
It's not practical.
It's not practical, and then you sell it for an astronomical amount of money, and then you break it down to, it's an 80% deal. How?
Yeah, not the everyday working woman with the groceries.
Exactly.
Groceries are so expensive. I cannot afford to spend that on, a necklace just so that I can,
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's how it happened. And I just absolutely love it. I try to post at least once or twice a week, because of my schedule. Sometimes that gets crazy. And so now we have a new studio that we're working on, and we're putting the final touches on it so I can do, because I've always wanted to do that jewelry channel kind of.
Yes.
I always wanted to do that. So that's what we're going to be working on.
I love that. I will definitely get in touch with your PR, and I will definitely reach back out because we would love to celebrate and support that. But today we are definitely here talking about the Super Friends Praise Fest coming. Let people know what you want them to get from this. We want people right now, after you watch this interview, make sure you go online, get your tickets. I promise you will not. There's nothing more inspirational. Every single name on this list is absolutely, by themselves. Would be amazing. But altogether, that entire arena is going to be lifted. You guys hear me? So let people know what you want them to get from this and why they need to go ahead and get those tickets right now.
Well, here's the thing, y'all. I'm just going to tell you this. Y'all know me, and I am not requiring you to wear a suit, a dress, a tie, none of that. You can come in your jeans and your cutoffs. You can come just as you are, because that's the way God loves us, just as we are. I want you to come go online, get those tickets, because the Super Friends Gospel Fest, when I tell you, it is absolutely amazing. Not just because I'm going to be there with my band. I get a chance to be there with my band. But Erica Campbell, Ty Tribute, Kaylin Carr, Marvin Sapp. I think they said Dietrich Haddon may come by. There are at least 15 artists that are going to be a Kalante, right?
Yes, and for me, it's Yolanda Adams. It is
Aw.
Fred Hammond
Oh my gosh.
and Kiki Wyatt, because
Yes. Now let me tell you. Woo! First of all, that child can sing anybody.
I don't know what kind of pipes those are.
She wants to. And you know what? This is the reason I love Kiki so. She is so authentically her. She has always been a great artist, a great singer, a great writer. Mm-hmm. And now, of course, with reality TV and stuff, we see her being a great mother.
Great mother, yes.
But she has such a pure heart when it comes to the things of God and helping people navigate life. Listen, the best people to help you navigate life is folks who've been through something.
Supposed to have lived it and are not ashamed of that, because if you're ashamed, you can't help anyone else because you're too busy hiding yourself. So she's obviously blessed. There's obviously an anointing on that. You're not able to sing like that.
No,
but the three of you got, and everyone, but Fred Hammond, that is you just
first of all, when Fred sings, I told him, oh my gosh, it had to be about 6 years ago. I told him, I said, Fred, I love your voice, but man, when you get into that soft part of your voice and I move into what you're saying, and I'm like, whoa.
Yeah,
that's me. So I just, Fred and I go back almost 35 years. We've known each other that long. Yeah.
I cannot imagine, but I know you. Yeah. So we know you have to go. That you're doing press, but you guys, please go to superfriendspraisefest.com. Get your tickets today. Trust me, you don't want to wait. If it's sold out, you're going to be upset. You're going to be upset. And thank you so much.
And even if you come just to see what we have on, because we know the call.
However, you got to get there. And I just have one request. I hope that you have this duet. Well, it was more than just you, but with Donnie McClurkin, As Great As Thy Faithfulness. And I don't know if you're going to sing that, but that's my personal request. That's one of my favorite. You have so many. And I'll reach back out to have you come back, because there's so many amazing records. But thank you so much for hanging out with us. Can't wait to see you on August 13th. Again, you all go to the website, get your tickets. Trust me, so much more than just their outfits. You're going to leave totally different. Superfriendspraisefest.com. Thank you so much, Miss Yolanda Adams.
Thank you for having me, Crystal. I love you guys at Rolling Out.
Thank you. Have a blessed day.
You too.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right. I hope you all were absolutely inspired by that conversation. We definitely have to have Yolanda back. But as I said, make sure you go ahead and get your tickets. There's so much going on. Inspiration is invaluable. So I hope you grab some of those gems Miss Yolanda was dropping. We will be back next week. But what a wonderful start to our week. Our Monday we spent with the one and only Miss Yolanda Adams. I am your host, Crystal Jordan. I'm so happy to have you guys hanging out with me. I will see you later this week for more recaps on relationships and love and all that stuff. But right now, I'm going to let you guys go. Have a blessed, productive week, and I'll see you soon.